Hey guys, I'm Joey, and these are some things that you should do for your fish tank. The first thing that you should do with your fish tank are bi-weekly water changes. Uh, a lot of people would argue which is a good amount of water change. I say never do 50% because it's gonna put the fish in more of a shock. It's gonna shock the fish when you take out that much water and add that much water. It's gonna shock them more than it'll help them. So you may not have any more nitrates in your tank, but your fish are probably going to be dead. So I'd say maybe 30-25% water change is always recommended every 2 weeks. Even in planted tanks, every 2 weeks is a good amount of time for pretty much any chemical in the water that's not supposed to be in there. It's a good amount of time to have it get all built up so you can take it out. So, bi-weekly water changes. Okay, the next thing is to feed your fish the correct food. Don't have some rummy nosed tetras over here, and don't feed them brine shrimp. They're not going to eat brine shrimp. You gotta feed them the right food. It's very helpful. It'll help them grow. Like if you have betas and you're feeding them flakes, it's not really the best thing. I would rather feed them some pellets. I'm gonna cover the logo. Some pellets are always good for your fish. I don't know if you can see them well. It may say cichlids on here, but it can also feed other things. Like I feed this for my betas. I feed this to my clown loach. I do also feed it for the angelfish, but I've seen people feed goldfish with those. So feeding the correct food is always something that will benefit your fish in the long run. Doesn't matter if it's going to cost a little bit more money than the food you want to buy. It's going to keep your fish alive. So the next thing you should do is always change up your food. I'm not saying buy one of those, or you can't even see it. Buy one of these and then just wait till that's done and get another food. Change it up a little bit. Different brands, I feed my betas flakes, I'd say about once a week, and then I'll feed them the pellets. I have to feed pellets in this tank. I'm gonna hopefully get new food soon, so I can be changing up the food, more pellets, so the clown loach can also have different kind of foods. Different foods also, it gives them a how do I put it? It gives them a choice of what they prefer, and if you're just feeding them one thing, they're gonna get tired of it. And if you're feeding them only flakes, then you're going to have problems with your fish. Your fish is a lot of the times your fish is not gonna be very healthy. Like they'll be healthy, but they're not. Their stomach is gonna be very messed up by it. So I would always try to do pellets, flakes if you can. Flakes or pellets if you can. And if for fish like, let me think of a fish, peacock eels, you can feed them flakes, but the chances of them eating the flakes are very low. So brine shrimp, just feed them what they'll eat, change it up. There you go. The next thing you should always do is regular tank maintenance. You're scrubbing the glass. That would have been perfect for all the algae I used to have on this. Gravel vacuuming. Gravel vacuuming can get the little things of food that weren't eaten by any other fish. It can pick up some debris that was probably not picked up by the filter. Like if you have Java moss, you're going to have, or any moss, let's just put it at that, you're going to have little pieces of moss everywhere. Some of them may be in the ground, like you see. You probably can't see them. Right here, there's one just pretty buried under there, and they'll pick it up. So I don't really recommend using a strong gravel vacuum if you have sand or soil substrate. It's not going to do very good. It's going to pick up a lot of the sand, and you don't want that because then you're going to be replacing sand, especially for saltwater tank, it can be pretty expensive. So yeah, stick to your regular maintenance and change the filter too. I change mine every month. I just buy a pack of them. Let's see if I have a pack in here right now. Buy an 8-pack of filters. So is this 8-pack? Not sure. I think it's an 8-pack, but it's always good. So it's not, oh, it's been a month. Crap, I gotta go run and get a filter. But then if you don't buy a pack of them, a month is gonna come and you're gonna say, oh, it's fine. You're gonna keep putting it off, and then you're gonna end up getting a bad water quality, and so just change the filter, gravel vacuum, and scrub the glass with like a light sponge that won't scratch the glass. And I don't know if you guys should know this, but do not use cleaners on your tank, inside out. I don't even do it on the stand. If you have little dry things of water around it, just get a wet paper towel, rub it. Don't do it too rough, because then you're gonna scratch it, especially if you have an acrylic tank. It's gonna scratch really easily. So yeah, just scrub, don't scratch it. There you go. Okay, the next thing is to put your fish tank where people are gonna see it. With my 10-gallon, it's in a hallway upstairs. People are gonna see it, but when family's over, no one goes upstairs. So not a lot of people are gonna see it. It does get seen by a lot of other people besides me, like other people who live with me. And this tank, I didn't have anywhere else to put it. I didn't plan. I really should have. I was so busy planning on things I wanted to put in there, I didn't plan where it's gonna go. So last minute, I decided it was gonna go right here on this dresser that I don't even use. So yeah, and if you do end up putting it on a dresser and there's a mirror behind it, do what I did. I put a background, and I didn't go buy a background. I have it right here. I can't even grab it. Okay, well, I just got wrapping paper. I got the chalkboard. I don't want to say chalkboard. The wrapping paper that you can draw chalk on. I just had extra from Christmas last year, and I just kind of draped it in the back. I taped it. Or you can just get regular wrapping paper and use the back, and then it's just white. The reflection of the glass can freak your fish out, especially if you have a betta. If you have a betta, it's going to be flaring its fins. Very often it's going to stress your fish out, and she's not going to live that long. He or she is not going to live that long. Okay guys, that's things you should do for your fish tank. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. Tell your friends about the channel. These other facts that you think are wrong, that you shouldn't do, or there's some that I left out, go ahead and put them in the comments to help other people coming to the channel that are beginners. You can always ask me questions in the comments, but I would prefer you to, along with asking me, ask other people, so you can get more than one opinion. I mentioned that in fish tank do nots. I'm not sure if it was part 1 or part 2, so I will link both of them in the description. So yeah, please check them out and subscribe to your friends, and bye.